The Lewislox flock of Manx Lockton sheep grazes 6.5 acres in Northamptonshire. The grazing is rough, sandy and more dry than usual, with inclines on 3 sides. We have split the land into several paddocks, which help us in both the management of the grazing and of the flock, as we always run at least a couple of bloodlines at breeding time. Attracted to the property initially because we had a horse and goats, our passion gradually became our sheep. We have 3 mature rams, currently all 2-horn. The one on the left is a heritage ram, Nelson, and we retain him on behalf of the group for loan. A few breeders borrowed him last year. The ram in the middle is our old stock ram, Snaefell II. He has a lovely temperament and resembles his father Snaefell, who won the primitive interbreed champion at Eccleshall some years ago. The ram to the right was our big hope for Melton Mowbray this year, Percy. He is very characteristic of Lewislox stock. We love his length and depth of body, his horn formation and his lovely chocolate colour. Our ram lamb this year is Neville. It's hard to predict how he will progress, and the difficulty in retaining the right ram lamb from a number was tricky, but we are pleased with our choice. Our breeding ewes are the most important to choose correctly. These are the foundation of next year's lamb crop. It has taken us years to be sufficiently decisive, now taking quite harsh decisions as to those which we keep and those which we let go for breeding elsewhere or for meat for ourselves. Here you see a lovely range of horns and fleece type. 4 horns do carry a greater risk of split eyelids, and we do not sell any with even a notch for breeding. The incidence of split eyelids in our flock is extremely low. Last December we were horrified that a particularly vigorous ram lamb, now called Rambo and sold, got out of his enclosure into 2 groups, retired elderly ewes, of which we now only have 1, and our ewe lambs. Annoyingly, our eldest and our youngest ewes were both pregnant because of Rambo's wanderings. However, the progeny is thriving and both ewes are excellent mums. Our favourite ewe and lamb are the teenage mum and her lovely 4-horned ewe. We have a range of 2-horned and 4-horned sheep. Our sheep are on the darker end of the Manx colour spectrum and are tall and deep-bodied. Diversity is exhibited in the fleece types, where we have a range of tight wool fleeces and hairy fleeces. As we were both working full-time until a couple of years ago, showing Manx Locktons was limited to those shows which were at the weekend and required us to be at the showground for 1 day only. Typically we would show at Hertfordshire, Eccleshall, Moreton Marsh, Newbury, 3 counties, York and Stoneleigh, followed by Melton Mowbray. Over the years we have had significant successes, including primitive interbreed champion at both Eccleshall and Newbury and breed champion at Stoneleigh. Showing sheep and winning makes for a very enjoyable day, but there is a wider benefit from showing sheep in terms of education and general raising awareness, as well as encouraging new keepers and breeders. Barry has a professional background of over 40 years in education, and this has proved to be another interest with our Manx Lockton flock. We have used our Manx Locktons to support education, taking sheep to the Daventry Countrywide Show as a premium exhibition, providing commentary throughout the day. We have taken sheep to primary school shows, again with commentary. For each of these we have set up full Manx Lockton displays and included woolen products. At the RBST we have also assisted with regards to education for rare breeds generally. The most satisfying projects which we have pursued with our Manx Locktons have focused on their wool. Some years ago we investigated wool processing both for knitting yarn and for weaving cloth. As a result of this, we have produced machine-spun balled wool in 4-ply, double knitting and Aran weight, and we have also had Manx Lockton wool spun into weaving yarn and then woven into cloth. We have produced in all 6 types of cloth, including 2 weaves of plain Manx cloth and 4 further cloths where we've had the cloth woven from both Manx and other wools, Hebridean, Shetland and Wensleydale. With these cloths we have also produced throws, pashminas, cushions, hats, dresses and other garments. Barry and our son-in-law have also had 3-piece suits made from the Manx Hebridean cloth by a set of independent York-based tailors. Our woolen yarn and cloth have travelled far and wide, being purchased by customers nationwide and from the USA, Poland and Australia. The greatest challenge we have found is to keep the flock to a number which we can easily manage, but of a sufficient number from which we can choose the best for showing.